Okay, so for the relative strengths of functions, if we have endpoint behavior at infinity, we can use this relative strength of functions. Okay, and here we have a strong over weak situation. Okay, the exponential function is much stronger than a quadratic function. Anytime we have a strong over weak, the limit is infinite. Here we have a very strong function on top, but we have an even stronger on the bottom. So we have, although it's not weak, it's just weaker. We have a weak over strong situation. And again, those are going to go to 0. So here we have weak and weak, but this is very weak. So it ends up the numerator is a stronger function and the denominator is a weaker function. So again, this is going to go to infinity. So it's important to make sure that you understand that this only works when we have limits at infinity, okay, endpoint behavior. So this one here, this one's going to be, and maybe I can rearrange this and it might be a little bit easier to understand if we rearrange it. This is power 10. This is a square root, a fifth root. That's this fifth root is way more powerful, or the power 10 is way more powerful, but it's embedded inside a weak function. So we have a strong inside a weak. So it's kind of hard to, those contradicting terms. So we may want to just rearrange that so we can see that a little bit better. So we have here a weak root term on top, and I'm just going to use some log properties, and I have a weaker log term. Now, although it's times 10, it doesn't matter. That coefficient's really, as x gets really, really, really big here, okay, and again, remember we have the power of infinity, that 10 really is not going to be significant. This is still a really weak on the bottom and weak on the top, so it's just stronger on the top. So we end up with a strong over weak situation, so the limit is infinite. And again, I do encourage you guys to check these on graphs, okay? You should be checking these on graphs just so that you guys get a sense of how this works. You can check your answers for one thing, and then you can also check to see, you can get a sense of how these limits work. And having a sense of limits is very useful.